So my last video didn't really age that well, although I do thank you guys for watching it. I mean, the amount of, I guess, support that I got on it, even though in the grand scheme of things that the views that I got in the likes and comments is close to shit, if not shit, in the grand scheme of things, of course. But you know, to me, it is quite a lot, and I also got a lot of mixed opinions in the comments and a lot of, well, that didn't age well comments. If you haven't watched this video that I'm talking about, it is why Albon won't leave Red Bull in 2021, and I think we all know that he actually left Red Bull in 2020. Actually, no, he didn't. He's a test driver or reserve driver or something like that in the team. But Checo did sign for the team, and now he's going to be driving in Red Bull in 2021. Anyways, to put all of that aside, today we are going to be diving into what I consider to be a very original video idea of mine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my prediction for the 2021 drivers' standings. We are going to be starting with the very back of the grid, and in 20th place I have put Nikita Mazepin. Honestly, there's just nothing else to say about this. I mean, the guy's a rookie, he bought himself into F1, he does not have the talent, I think, to join and even be a part of the sport itself. He should not be a Formula 1 driver in the slightest, and this is leaving like all of the social media aspects and personality wise. I'm just saying the guy isn't talented enough to be a part of F1. He just bought his way in. I mean, his dad's a fucking Russian mob billionaire, whatever he does. He's a billionaire, his dad. So it's obvious that he was going to join at some point purely because of the money that he brings into the sport. But, you know, I don't see him actually scoring any points in the slightest. And that is because the Haas car is just so tricky to drive as well. And for a rookie who's not even good enough to be in the sport, in my opinion, you know, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to even score a point. And this whole thing with the car being super tricky to drive and super difficult to drive is going to be a theme with both the Haas drivers. But in 19th place, I have put Nicholas Latifi. Now, don't get me wrong, I think I'm gonna get a fuck ton of hate for saying this, but I think Nicholas is a pretty capable driver. I mean, I think he's a decent driver, he's not bad. In the races, he's put out good performances. I mean, had not George gone to Mercedes in that Sakir race, Latifi might have been ahead in the driver standings, and that is because he has had better race results than George, and it's a fact. We obviously don't know what would have happened in Sakir had George been in the Williams, but assuming that he would have stayed, statistically speaking, Nicholas would have finished ahead of George. And I'm not taking anything away from George. I mean, he's one of the best drivers on the grid right now, in my opinion. And I personally do not get the Nicholas hate. But leaving Latifi aside, in 18th place I have put Mick Schumacher. Some of you may consider this as being pretty high in the standings, and some of you might consider this being quite low in the standings. But this is purely because of the Haas car being so undrivable and so difficult to control. I mean, Grosjean and Magnussen scored, I think, 3 points together in the whole 2020 season. So obviously Schumacher and Mazepin are probably going to score less points. I think Schumi will not score any points at all, same as Mazepin. So this basically means that Latifi isn't going to score any points either. However, I do expect to also be wrong in the Schumacher side of things. Latifi might actually be ahead of him. This is right now I am putting Schumacher 18th, Latifi 19th, but I wouldn't be surprised if Latifi would be ahead of Schumacher, knowing that usually Mick in his first season in a series starts off extremely slow and learns a lot, then smashes it out in the second season. So that's the bottom three done. In 17th place I have put George. George, I think, is going to score either 1 or 2 points for the team, and Williams will move up to 9th place in the constructors thanks to George. I think he's going to make a Q3 appearance. I have called it here, folks, a Q3 appearance in around the middle of the season and just won this whole season. That's what I think is going to happen. He's going to score 1 point in that race, and then we'll see if there's going to be any chaotic race in the season. I think he is going to be there and he is going to capitalize for Williams and score another point, but that is only if there will be a hectic race, kind of like a Monza or an Austria, maybe even Mugello. You know, if any chaotic race like that would happen, then George is going to score another point for the team. And now with the bottom two teams done, the driver who will finish in 16th place is Antonio Giovinazzi. I'm even calling it. I think he's gonna score a maximum of 2 points in this whole season. No, not three. He's gonna score 2 points this season, and he's gonna finish 16th. I think it's gonna be a pretty average season, but Alfa are gonna be pretty happy with him. And I think they are going to keep him for 2022 as well, and maybe he'll improve in that year. And honestly, I don't have anything else to add. I mean, he's a decent driver. He's not bad, he's not good, he's just in the middle, he's average. In 15th place, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen. I mean, I don't think you can argue with that. He's still a decent driver, but I think he's going to retire at the end of this season. He's just going to put out good performances. I think Alfa will start off pretty slowly in the season, but you know, as the season goes, they are going to get better and better, and Kimi is obviously going to get better and better results, but not good enough for them to finish above 8th in the championship. And I think that they are going to finish 8th, and with quite a big of a margin to the next team. Moving on, in 14th place I have put Yuki Tsunoda. Again, I don't think you can argue with that. He has had an extremely good F2 season in 2020, but I think he's gonna score a few points in 2021. I don't think he's gonna put out any stellar performances, to be completely honest. He is still a rookie at the end of the day. You know, I don't think you can argue with that either. 13th place, Esteban Ocon. Decent driver in a decent team with a decent car. You know, I don't think he's going to score any podiums this year. Unlike last year, he scored a podium in Sakir, but that is due to, well, a Mercedes failure. But yeah, you know, I don't have anything else to add, to be completely honest. I think he's going to have a pretty average season. I think that, you know, it's going to obviously be better than 2020 because that was his comeback. Now he has a year under his belt with Renault, or should I say Alpine, actually. He has a year with the team already. You know, he's back in form, not necessarily the form that he had before he took the break in 2019, but you know, he's still relatively in form, and you know, I think he's gonna put out better performances. But then again, I don't think he's gonna get a podium though, but I do think improvement will be there. Now this is where things become a little bit more interesting, because this is where I guess the midfield begins. In 12th place, I put Pierre Gasly. Pierre's coming off from a stellar season in 2020. I mean, the guy has won a f***ing race, bro. And I feel like the consistent and good results that he put out in 2020 will even improve this year. But I don't think he's gonna get a win again. I mean, Monza was like 1 in a million chances of him getting the win. It's extremely unlikely for that to happen again this year. That's why I put him so low in the standings, because I'm sure a lot of people would put him in like the top 10 or something, but he's not gonna have that 25 points that he had in 2020 because of that win. Lance Stroll is going to take up the 11th place spot. I think he's going to have a worse season that he's had in 2020, and that is because I think that he lost momentum from when he got all those DNFs and when he had COVID and everything. His results just spiraled down so much that I don't think he's gonna find the form that he's had at the beginning of the year again. And yes, he's had a pole position in Turkey, but what did he do after he got pole? Absolutely nothing. He got an extremely bad result considering that he started on pole position. And then, like I've said before, just bad results after bad results. So I can't say that I necessarily rate Lance, but he's not a bad driver either. I mean, I know he gets a lot of hate for his dad's money and whatever, but the guy's an okay driver. He's a decent driver, but I wouldn't consider him like one of the best drivers for the future of F1 and a 100% future champion. I think he's bang average, and the car helped him a lot, obviously, last year. But like I've said before, I don't think he's gonna find the form that he had at the beginning of 2020, because he was actually, hands down, he was in good form at the beginning of the year, and then all of those DNFs and COVID and whatever just hit him like a train, I suppose, and then knocked his confidence or something, that he couldn't get the results that he used to get again. And now to break into the top 10 and leaving Lance aside, I have put Alonso in 10th place. When you thought you got rid of him, he came back. Look, I think the Alpine car is going to be decent. It's going to be average. I don't think it's going to fight for third place in the constructors. in the slightest. I don't think it's even gonna get fourth in the standings. But you know, this is why Alonso is gonna be in 10th place. He's still gonna have to find his form again because he's had a 2-year break. Even if he's one of the greatest of all time, which I strongly believe that he is, nobody is going to find their form instantly after leaving for 2 years, and especially when the cars have gotten so much faster. But he's going to build on the momentum, and I think I'm not sure if he signed for 2022 as well. If he has, and if he will, I think he's going to show that he still got it in 2022. But we'll see if it stays. I'm not sure if he signed a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal. But yeah, in 9th place, I have put Carlos Sainz. I think he's going to have a good season. I think he's going to impress. I think he's going to put out good performances. But he's going to get dragged down by the Ferrari car. And I also think that there will be quite a few sparks between him and Leclerc. And who have I put in 8th place? His teammate, Charles. He's just one of the best drivers right now. And I think the good form and the good results and the consistent results will keep coming. Ferrari, like I've said before, are going to improve a lot from their 2020 campaign. But they're not going to be at the form that, you know, they had in 2019 or in 2018 or whatever. Hence why 8th and 9th in the standings for them. But in P7, I've put Lando. He's gonna have a strong season. He's gonna have a good season. He's just going to build up on how 2020 was like, because that was his best season to date. And I think 2021 is gonna be even better for him. I do see 2 podiums for Lando. I think he's gonna get 2 podiums this year. He's, like I've said before, he's gonna get good results, consistent results. And he's really going to improve and make his mark as being a possible future world champion. And in 6th place, I have put the man himself, Sebastian Vettel. I think, and I'm calling it out, that Seb is going to find his form again. And he's going to prove to us that it was literally Ferrari who ruined him. And I think that he is going to outdrive that Aston Martin. And he's going to get 1, 2, maybe 3 podiums this year. And he's going to show who the old Sebastian Vettel is, and that he's back and back on form and back at the top. And now into the top 5, I bring you Checo. That is right, he's not going to finish 4th. He's going to finish bang on 5th, because that Red Bull car is cursed for whoever the second driver at the team is. He's obviously going to be closer to Max than Alex was, but not close enough for him to cover Max from Mercedes's strategies. I also think that him and Max are gonna be quite feisty with each other when they're gonna be close, but I think he's going to perform better than Alex. He's gonna be closer to Max, but not close enough to even make Mercedes think of other strategies to use, because the Red Bull is out there to cover Max. And that means that in 4th place, it is none other than Danny Rick, the Honey Badger himself. Daniel will perform and outperform that McLaren to the point where it's going to get 3rd in the constructors and he's going to get 4th in the drivers. He's going to be out there in McLaren, new team, new environment, better environment than a Renault, good people around him, good mechanics, good car, Mercedes engine. It is going to be an extremely good season for him. He's going to make his mark for being one of the best on the grid right now, and he will surely pick up podiums and maybe even a win. And now to move on to your top 3. All of the midfield drivers and teams are done. This is the top 3. In 3rd place, it is Max Verstappen. In 2nd place, it is, drumroll please, Valtteri Bottas, and Lewis is gonna get the 8th title and become the most successful driver in F1 history. Starting with Max, again, he's gonna have a stellar season. He's gonna prove again as of why he is the best on the grid right now. He's just going to be up there to pick up the scraps from Merc whenever like they'll fail or whatever, because that's what he does now. And whenever he's gonna have the chance to be close to them, I think he's gonna take the fight to them. And I think if the car is going to be close enough on its day to the Mercedes car, it is going to win the race. But I do, however, think that this year it'll be more of a walk in the park for Mercedes. They're gonna learn from the mistakes that they've made in 2020. I think they're going to have a flawless season, and I think this season will be much more boring than the 2020 season. Even though actually 2020 was a pretty interesting season. But yeah, 2nd place, Valtteri. He's gonna pick up a maximum of 2 wins in this whole season, maybe even 3. I don't know if he's going to be lucky or unlucky. he is not going to perform at the level that is expected of him, even though he is going to play second driver and Rubens Barrichello 0.2 for Lewis, and the media will give him a lot of stick, and he's going to get nervous and he's going to get pissed. And whenever he'll win his one race out of 23 or whatever races there'll be in the season, he'll be like, to whom it may concern, f you, and he'll not win any race at all again in the season. And that is Valtteri's Mercedes career summed up in 20 seconds. As for Lewis, he's gonna win the title. It's not gonna be a struggle in the slightest. He's just gonna cruise from pole position to win at almost every single race. I don't know, he's not even gonna put that stellar performance in. I think he's just gonna put clean laps in qualifying, secure the pole, just drive off in the distance in the race, what he usually does to win races, and it's gonna be a walk in the park again. And yeah, this is the end of the video and the end of the predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you have predictions of your own, you can comment them down below. Again, I read every single comment, I respond to every single comment, and I'm extremely intrigued to see what your opinions on this subject are and what your predictions are, and if you agree or not with me. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and with that said, peace.